Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 1700 show. I have a very, very special guest with me, Nicole Millar. How are you?
Hey, nice to see you on screen. I'm good.
Yeah, I know. It's all virtual nowadays.
I know it's so weird, but we're here and it's cool. We don't have to catch planes and we can have interviews sitting on the couch. I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Now, I want to have a chat. First of all, we got to talk about the forthcoming EP and the new track, Are You Kidding? The EP comes out May 28th, and the new single is I Get a really like joyous and fun vibe from it. I hope that's, I hope I'm not misstepping there. And I was sort of wondering for you, what was the creative process like with this forthcoming EP and getting in the studio? How was it all for you?
Yeah, so normally I will go on writing trips like to LA and to Sweden to work with a bunch of writers and producers. But during COVID, I had to think of like different ways to finish songs and also to write new ones. So I have like a little studio set up in my house, and I was spending a lot of time like alone. And I think Are You Kidding kind of just came out of a frustration of being at home and kind of like daydreaming. And that's probably where you get that like fun, energetic
Yeah.
vibe, because I was just, I mean, there's a lyric in there about Rio, and I'm just like, have this image in my head of me jumping in my car and just like driving to whatever closest beach there is and just kind of finding that confidence and just having fun with it, I guess. But yeah, there's a few like ups and downs in the EP, which is cool. I have a little bit of a ballad in there,
Mm.
which is kind of new for me. I don't really have many ballads. um, and yeah, I was actually like kind of lucky because some of the songs were already finished. Um, as I did go on I managed to get a little writing trip in January of 2020 before everything went crazy. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my inspiration from songs are all about like finding that confidence, because I think I'm such like an
Mm.
awkward, anxious person, walking around my day-to-day life. Um, my like musician, um, I guess like alter ego. Um, I need to come up with a stage name for her because right now my name is just exactly my name. But yeah, when I write songs, it's kind of like an alter ego.
Mm.
They're dealing with, I guess, like things that have happened to me. Um, and yeah, she's more confident than I am. So you probably hear that in the songs.
Yeah, I definitely do hear that confidence coming through. And I do kind of feel like a certain sort of comfortability in your music and like a freedom to sort of, I don't know, express myself when I'm listening to it and dance along. And, because dance music's very expressive in itself,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sort of wondering, like, is there a certain mood or imagery or a message or something that you want to put across to the listeners when you're making this music? Do you want to make them feel a certain way?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I want my listeners to feel, I keep saying the word confident, but it's true. Because I feel like like when I'm writing songs, they're like strung from a feeling that I'm feeling. So if I'm like frustrated, or like a little bit upset, I then take that feeling and kind of like make up a story into the song. So it's not always about something directly that's happened to me. I'm just more going off the feeling. And yeah, like if you listen to For You, I feel like I want people to feel like really like sexy and confident. And then with Are You Kidding? Like it's definitely more of a dance song, like get in your car and like sing your little heart out, and have a little dance. And then, yeah, I have a song called Dying to Forget that's coming out. And that one, is about a relationship and you're like trying to forget that person, but you keep thinking about them because they're really special to you. So yeah, there's a lot of like kind of messages in there, but I guess the main message would be that, you know, spend some time by yourself and blast some music and find that confidence because really you got to find it. I think it took me years to find that confidence and,
Mm.
you know, still find it like in those awkward situations, like social anxiety pops up, but I feel like I feel way more confident in myself these days. So you could probably hear that through the music, I hope.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is there a space or an environment you like to go to get lots of inspiration?
It used to be in my car. I used to drive down to the beach. So I grew up in Cronulla, and I used to get in my car and like drive down there and kind of just like lock myself in the car and look at the waves, and kind of like let myself sit with my thoughts.
Mm.
Um, as of recent, I've written a lot of my songs in my house,
Yeah.
sitting on the couch. I don't know. I feel like song ideas come to me when I'm really bored or angry. I can't explain it. Like I could try every day, and I do try to like write songs every day, but I feel like the best songs come out within like 15 minutes of when I'm just like in that
Yeah.
complete either boredom or like
Do you voice memo, or do you have like a little book that you know write your
yeah,
ideas down in?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm always buying new notebooks, but I'm very bad at like sticking to that. Got a lot
Mm.
of blank books out there. Um, but yeah, voice memos. They're not organized at all. I bet you if I went through them, they would just like
Yeah.
make no sense. Um, yeah, but I tend to like put on a beat, or if I don't have a beat, yeah, I tend to write all my ideas just like randomly out of my head, or like I'm not very good at playing keys, but then I'll like press, you know, a note and
Yeah.
sing out some sort of melody. And luckily, I live with my boyfriend who's produced produced quite a lot of my songs, which is handy. And so yeah, I can normally take that idea into the studio and be like, please make me
Yeah.
something.
How important is that relationship between you two? Having someone that, you know, musically that you can be on the same wave and just in terms of that creation process.
Yeah, it's just like because we've been dating for a while, but we avoided working together for a while. And actually, it's working out really well now. Um, I mean, for a while, there was like no options during COVID. So it was like a nice little test, but
Yeah.
it's like, it's actually really good because he keeps to himself, and then I write the lyrics, and then I'm like, can you do this? And then things happen by chance. Like with Are You Kidding? He was like messing around on the synth and just kind of like speeding up the tempo, which is how we got the chorus. And I was like, no, 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 hold on to that, hold on to that. That's actually really sick. And so I'm like pretty chaotic in the studio because my mind, I'm like, no, 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 I actually really like that. And the poor thing has to like try and
Yeah. Do
remember
you
exactly
find
what
those are some of the best moments though when you hear something
it
you're like, yes, we need to keep that, keep that.
is. That's why voice memo is important
Yeah,
because
I'm
otherwise,
sure there's lots of like
yeah,
hidden gems in there of, you know, stuff that you just haven't released yet. Maybe,
I
maybe,
mean,
maybe not. We'll hear in the future.
yeah, yeah, there might be some very bad stuff in there as well, but we'll see.
And
I
where do you
mean,
see the future of the like Aussie music industry going in, say, 5, 10 years time, especially when it comes to like pop and dance music? Do you think it's really promising, or do you see it going in a certain direction?
um, I'm not sure if it's because people haven't been able to like party and, you know, go out and dance as much, but I feel like I've seen a change in music where it's less like dance electronic music and it's more pop now. But that's cool. I feel like pop music is having a moment. I think for a while everyone was like, no, we're not making pop music. Like,
Yeah, I've
it's
heard a
too
lot of people comment on that. Yeah.
yeah, and like now I've noticed that like it's actually this. I mean, it's hard to define what pop is really,
Mm.
but yeah, there's a lot of vocalists out there now, which is really cool. And I feel like a lot of Aussies are getting praise with how everything's just like on the internet now.
Mm.
Um, as opposed to before. I feel like, I mean, it's kind of overwhelming, to be honest. Have had to download TikTok and get used to that because now all the labels are like, you must post on TikTok.
Mm.
But yeah, seeing in 5 years, I haven't really thought about it. I'm always like trying to live in the moment, like obviously with having goals for the future. But yeah, I mean, it's looking promising. I feel like everyone kind of wants to come to Australia now as well because we're living it pretty chill and we're quite lucky at the moment to be here.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
exciting.
for all the young people listening to the show right now, is that some advice you'd give? Like, get on social media, put your stuff out there, or is there a certain sort of, because we have a lot of listeners that are, let's say in high school or something, that are a little bit like, oh, do I want to go into the music industry? Sort of unsure about what path to take. What would your advice to them be?
I think you kind of have to be on social media these days for music. Obviously, um, you know, if it's a good song, it probably will shine through. But a lot of being in the music industry is like you are a brand. So, if my advice would be to like sit there and actually take some time to think about what your brand is. Like, although I was impatient when I was younger and I was like, go, go, go. I don't care what it is. Like I was putting, back like on MySpace, like putting songs on there, SoundCloud, just like finding people to work with, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like that's fine, but there's some risk in that too because you end up with songs on the internet that you don't really love. So
And then they come
yeah,
back up years later,
yeah,
on
they
YouTube.
come to haunt you. But you do learn, I guess, from that. It's a process of finding out what kind of music you want to do. But yeah, I think probably just like find some artists that you really inspire to be like, and then sit there and think like, why do I like these artists? Like, what about it? Like, picture, not just about the music, but like what kind of like where you want your visuals to sit, what you want your artistry to look like, the color schemes. I find like Pinterest really helpful
Mm.
with like coming up with the whole brand. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's all music, but you need to find out like what makes you different and then really hone in on that because if you're just like going in and doing covers on TikTok, which can be like helpful, you kind of like blending in, I feel.
Mm.
I think you can do that like once you like find your thing.
No, that's great
Yeah.
advice. Do you have a favorite like musical memory from when you were younger? Of maybe like a first performance in front of, a large crowd or something like that?
Yeah. Um Gosh, I used to do the most funny like Stedford performances when I was younger and sing like Evanescence and the Dixie Chicks. Um, but then I grew out of that. And yeah, I guess like the biggest thing for me was I kind of got thrown into the music industry. I was just a yes girl and um, jumping on a bunch of songs. And by chance, all three of my most successful features all came out within like a couple of months. So with Peking Duck, Cosmos Midnight, and Golden Features. And yeah, then I kind of just jumped into the industry and then I got to perform with Peking Duck. I can't remember what the first performance was. Do you know what, actually? The first performance was actually with Rufus, and that was like for the One Night Stand. Do you remember that? It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
Triple J festival, and I think that was like televised, um, and that was pretty crazy. I just went up and
Yeah.
sang like a duet with Tyrone in Rufus.
Mm.
Um, yeah, crazy times. And
That's
then
that's the great thing about somewhere like Triple J, shout out, just like love Aussie music and Unearthed, that are supporting great local artists. I think to end off today, I just want to ask you if there's like a message that you want to send out to your fans that are tuning in. Is Is there something you want to say?
Ooh, so many things.
Yeah.
Yes, so many things. I feel like so
I'll put
many
you on
young
the
people at the
spot.
moment, there's like so much pressure to be perfect. I feel like for young people at the moment,
Mm,
with all social media and all of that. So yeah, just like don't stress out and try and live in the moment. And um, yeah, life is not as intense as you may think it is in the moment. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just like try and like find your what makes you happy and just like go for it.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a beautiful message to end on. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nicole. And
Thanks.
for those listening out there, Are You Kidding? Nicole's new EP that comes out on May 28th. Got to go check it out, and check out the new single titled the exact same as well, and the music video on all the social platforms as well. It's a really great song. And as you were saying earlier, Nicole, you got to, drive, turn it up super loud and dance, just let go.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for joining us today, Nicole, on the
Thank you.
1700 show.
So nice. So nice speaking.